She carried me on her shoulders in
Hello?
my front.
Mike. शुरू करें? Dear delegates, we have our chief guest amidst us and would request everyone to please come into the hall so we can begin our inaugural process. All the attendees and delegates requesting you to please come in. We have our honorable chief guest with us and we would like to commence our inauguration process. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm welcoming all of you and our chief guests and dignitaries over to our inaugural program for the conference that we're having today by the Association of Robotic Gynecological Surgeons of India. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. I think it has been our earnest need and want to always keep learning better and newer technologies and newer methods of doing surgery that has brought all of us here together. For this honorable occasion, we have amidst us our chief guest, Dr. Srimati Tamilisai Soundarajan. I would request ma'am, Dr. Ruma Sinha, Dr. Mahendra Bhandari, Dr. Hari Prasad and Dr. Yogesh Kulkarni to please join us at the dais. Thank you very much, our honorable guests, for joining us on stage. I would like to begin the ceremony with the chanting of the Saraswati Vandana. Vandana means wisdom, and chanting of the Saraswati Vandana is known to remove all obstacles to success in one's education and career. Mrs. Priyadarshini Kulkarni is an accomplished Hindustani classical music singer and teacher who has learned from the Guru Shishya Parampara. Meanwhile, I would like to also invite our dignitaries to please come and light the lamp and inaugurate the society. Thank you. Have a seat. Man needs difficulties because they are necessary to enjoy success. Who else knows this better than our organizing chairperson, Dr. Ruma Sinha, who, as of all of us have robotic surgeons in India, have faced a numerous amount of difficulties and challenges to start a robotic program in our respective hospitals. I would like to invite her to please give us the welcome address.
Thank you, Anshu. Dignitaries on the dais, respected Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan, the Governor of Telangana and the Honorable Lieutenant General of Puducherry. It's my honor to invite ma'am and have her here with us, not just because she is the head of the state, but also she is amongst us and she is a gynecologist. I also invite Dr. Hariprasad, who is the president of Apollo Groups of Hospitals, and Dr. Professor Manohind Bhandari, an eminent urologist amongst us, and a Padma Shri awardee at present, CEO of the Vatikoti Foundation, and the other dignitaries on the dais. Welcome to RoboGyn India 2022, and welcome to the fold of Association of Gynecological Robotic Surgeons. 2/3 or almost gynecological cases world over have 1/3 the number of surgeries that happen to women. It's equal number happening in this country as well. There is no denying the fact that today no woman should be subjected to an open surgery and minimal access surgery should be accessible to all. But we are not able to provide that to our women of this country. And this reason being, in spite of minimal access surgery, laparoscopy now being available in every hospital, every tier city, including smaller towns, the skill and the infrastructure required for doing complex gynecological surgeries becomes difficult. The role of robotics here helps younger surgeons to develop these skills fast and translate the benefit of minimal access surgery to women in our country. This association was conceived by 7 of us. It has taken about 7 years. I'd like to acknowledge my other core members, Dr. Rama Joshi, Dr. Anupma Bahadur, Dr. Anupma Rajan Babu, Dr. Yogesh, Dr. Anshumala, and Dr. Mala Srivastav, who over many Zoom meetings discussed, deliberated how we should go about doing this. The aim, we all agreed, and that was to actually promote academics, train, make each one of us an enabler to teach the other so that the technology can benefit women across. We also would like, in the future, identify centers of excellence where the newer members of the association or doctors who want to take this up can go for their training and learning the art of robotic surgery. We would set up data collecting centers, do research, so that these information in India can become information for policy decisions as well as for designing guidelines for surgeons who want to take this up. We have a very good response to this inaugural meeting. I'm extremely, it's heartfelt to me as in such a short time so many of you joined. We had almost 25 videos that came in for a award, which is called the AGRS Vatikoti Scholar Award, which will be presented tomorrow. We had 15 free papers that came in for the presentation. We have 150 delegates across the country. We have some international people also. Delegate Dr. Munawar is from Bangladesh. My students from MQ from Sydney have also joined. So it is giving a national and international flavor today. So I will end saying that a movement has started. We want this association to be a part of you. There is a way to join the association. Please do that. We will make an interactive website where all the master classes that you have been attending this morning will be available very soon. And be with us. Join the new technology which could make a difference to women in our country. Thank you so much, and Jai Hind. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ruma Sinha, for giving us our welcome address and starting off the program. Knowledge with action converts adversity into prosperity. Who else would be the cheerleader of all of us robotic surgeons other than Dr. Mahendra Bhandari? He is the CEO of Vatikuti Foundation. He's the Director of Robotic Surgery Program, Education and Research, Vatikuti, Urology Institute, Henry Ford Hospital, Detroit. He's a urologist, a kidney transplant surgeon, a robotic surgeon, medical educator, innovator, and health advocate. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 2000 for his excellent work in the field of creating a lot of influence with practice and teaching of medicine. I would like to invite Dr. Mahendra Bhandari to please give us a few words on this occasion.
Dr. Madam Tamil Sai Soundaragan, Dr. Hari Prasad, whom I have had the privilege of working, and I know him for 22 years, Ruma, Dr. Kulkarni, Yogesh, and people in the audience. I would like to begin because today my heart is glad to learn that urology, the gynecology, robotic surgery in India is on auto mode. But Madam, you should know a little bit of history, and I would like to acknowledge some people, because when Vatikuti Foundation picked up movement of robotic surgery in India in 2009, there were no takers. Da Vinci was untouchable. People did not find it worthwhile because they had so much good laparoscopy skills, and always they looked at the capital and recurring cost. So 3 months I went to every center and addressed them because the Indian model was not workable only on urology, and I was looking for some other high volume areas. And then I decided it's not going to work because the urologist telling a gynecologist that you should do hysterectomy with the robot doesn't make a sense. So I depended on our international network of robotic surgeons who were really, and we have Dr. Gottlieb, who was the one who proctored these trainers. We have Dr. Gabby, who we did not know before, otherwise we would have grabbed, but now he is in the fold of the foundation. We had Mario Lato, we had Krishnanshu Tiwari, we had Meenakshi Jain, and n number of people who went from center to center and made these people to do. I would also acknowledge the Apollo Hospital, who embraced it, and we met the chairman, and within 15 minutes he took a decision that they will have 6 robots. And Dr. Hari Prasad really paid. So it's good to see, but you have to know, and these people have toiled hard to build this specialty here. They deserve congratulations on the behalf of the foundation. And only one word of warning that I have spent 5 decades with the societies. Keep politics off the society. Madam, excuse me for that, because they should be purely academic institutions. And that's why Vatikuti Foundation decided, it was not our choice to do robotic surgeons councils because they were very expensive meetings before COVID. We used to do 2 meetings. We went to the society, and my own society where I had been the past president and known everybody, was giving from pillar to post, and they said, this is a commercial company, you should pay 20 lakhs, and we went to Association of Surgeons of India. Then I said that, no, it's not going to work. We went to Gynecological Cancer Society. We did a meeting with them in Bangalore. And finally, we decided, no, we want a political, purely academic platform which would bring in the best practices here and excite the youngsters to take to the special. It is not the robotic. Ultimately, what matters is the patient care. I met laparoscopy surgeons and went and convinced them, because the hospital directors wanted that he's a high-volume surgeon in Narayana, and if you convince, I'll have a robot tomorrow, Dr. Devi Sethi telling. And I met the surgeon and he said, tell me one reason why should I take to robotics. I did 2 Whipples yesterday. And then I said, no, you should not take to robotics. Same thing I told to Dr. Palnivelu. Because ultimately what matters is not robotics. No patient wants to know whether you operate with left hand or right hand or what your assistant does. Ultimately what matters is the patient outcomes, and not anecdotal outcomes that X patient did well and our results were fantastic. Evidence-based outcome. And that's why foundation would always be behind academic society till it continues to do what it should do. And thank you very much, Ruma, for inviting me to this august audience, where I see so many youngsters which hold the rope for the patients across the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhandari. You've been the cheerleader for all of us to have started our robotics, and I think we should be able to now have the ability to go ahead and take it far as much as we can. Surely. Thank you. So, knowledge, India has seen the dream of digital India with the latest science and latest technologies. That has been the motto for us all through lockdown. We've seen how technology has actually changed pretty much how we live our day-to-day lives. And if we have a leader in place who believes in technology, then it becomes easier to adapt these things. We have amongst us Dr. Hari Prasad, who is the president of the Apollo Group Hospitals. He has been the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Region Apollo Group of Hospitals, Chief Executive Officer of Apollo Hospitals Hyderabad, Vice President of Apollo Hospitals Hyderabad. He has created a platform and provided the impetus for establishing emergency medicine as a specialty in India. He's an anesthesiologist. Provided the platform to establish the first operational health city in Asia, Apollo Health City, Hyderabad. He has also tuned a leadership for the team that took Apollo hospitals through various accreditation programs, such as the JCI, the NABH, and the NABL. Consistently providing new solutions for sustained growth and creating healthy margins for Hyderabad division of Apollo Hospitals has been his call. He has been promoting innovations in clinical care, patient services, marketing, and performance management across the region. I would like to invite Sir to please give us a few words today and encourage all of us to adapt to this new technology.
Honorable Governor of Telangana and Lieutenant Governor of Pondicherry, Dr. Mrs. Soundararajan. Permit me to address you as Mrs. Soundararajan because we are very fond of Dr. Soundararajan, who is a colleague of ours at the hospital. Dr. Bhandari, Dr. Ruma Sinha, Dr. Yogesh, and ladies and gentlemen. It's very fortunate to have in our midst a truly multifaceted personality. She's a doctor, a gynecologist, a politician, now the governor, and above all, a great human being. We've seen many individuals with multiple facets, but very few have excelled in all the facets that they have. And ma'am, you're one of them. It's a privilege to be here in your presence today. Dr. Bhandari, again, the champion of robotic surgery in India. You're again another multifaceted personality, a urologist of excellence, an academician, and now the champion of technology. Good to meet you after many years, Dr. Bhandari. You don't seem to change, you don't seem to age at all. Many years ago, when Dr. Reddy, as Dr. Bhandari just said, when Dr. Reddy, he takes decisions in minutes, and somehow when it is new technology, he doesn't even think about it. He decided to get the Da Vinci systems into the Apollo system. We were all thinking that it would be urology that would be the lead specialty, and they would be taking the major part of the Da Vinci system, time of the Da Vinci system, or the surgical gastroenterology. But success comes from unexpected quarters. And it did come from unexpected quarters, because in Hyderabad, it was a lady, a small, tiny, young lady who took the lead and made a huge difference with the Da Vinci system, and that is Dr. Ruma Sinha. Dr. Ruma, the whole country is proud of what you've done with the robotic system, and we are extremely proud. And you are such, not just with what you achieved, but what you're going to achieve in the future. Congratulations, and we are all the way behind you, not just within the Apollo system, but beyond the Apollo system, with whatever the new technology can offer to the patients, because ultimately it's the patients who need to benefit from the new technology that's coming in. I would like to conclude by thanking the faculty and the delegates for being here today, as I believe that history is being actually created today with the launch of this association. And Dr. Bhandari, let me assure you, this will be an academic platform and will be an academic platform. Thank you, and all the very best.
Thank you, Dr. Hari Prasad, for your encouraging words. Our chief guest today is unique in terms of being a gynecologist herself. She has started her career as a medical practitioner, completing her MBBS and post-graduation in gynecology, and working before she left it for her political career. She has a remarkable public and social service background spanning over almost 20 years. She nurtures great devotion towards public service and enhancement of living standards of common people, with focus on health and education as a prime agenda. She has donned the hat of being a state head of a political party and steering it with exemplary management skills and pro-people service milieu. Dr. Tamilisai Soundarajan is a proud recipient of an international award titled International Rising Star of the Year 2018 by Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force USA under US Congressman Danny K. Davis for her services to the society, especially in the field of politics, public and health services. Dr. Tamilisai Soundarajan is known for her strong advocacy towards upliftment living standards of people through better health and preventive care. She's a great admirer of social and cultural strengths of our country and very considerate towards inclusion of values and humility right at the basic education system and upwards. It is indeed an honor, ma'am, to have you here as our chief guest, because you are not only a champion of betterment of women's health, as well as you are a gynecologist and you understand how important it is for us to be able to do better surgery and work as we can through technology. I would like you and our dignitaries to launch the society. So, ma'am, we are starting this first ever association of Gynae Robotic Surgeons of India, and would like to request the chief guest to please inaugurate the same for us. The association was started, ma'am, with the idea that we should promote newer technology as well as bring all gynae robotic surgeons together in a single platform so that we are able to get better academic progress in this particular field. I would request you to please say a few words to all of us to encourage us. Thank you.
A special good afternoon to each and everyone here. Dr. Ruma Sinha, President, Association of Gynecological Robotic Surgeons and Organization, Chairperson, RoboGyn India 2022. Dr. Rama Joshi, Vice President, Dr. Anushmala Shukla Kulkarni, Secretary, Dr. Anupama Bagadur, Joint Secretary, Dr. Yogesh Kulkarni, Treasurer, Dr. Mala Srivatsa, Joint Treasurer, Dr. Mahendra Bhandari, the Padma Shri awardee. Sir, after hearing your words, I am really very much surprised that you practiced in Puducherry for a few years. And I am really such a good coincidence that you worked in JIPMER for 9 years, I heard. So as Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, I thank you for serving that premier institution of that union territory, because definitely the students would have benefited by your great teachings. And Dr. K. Hari Prasad, President, Apollo Hospitals, and when he was mentioning, he wanted to mention me as Mrs. Soundarajan than Mrs. Tamilisai Soundarajan, because he told we are more attached to Dr. Soundarajan, who is my husband. I told, not only you are attached, I am also attached and I am also very fond of him. He was telling, we are very fond of him. I also fond of you, no problem at all. So in a lighter sense, I told, because I am really very happy to share the dais with Dr. K. Hari Prasad, the President, Apollo Hospitals, and Dr. Walter from Canada, and Dr. Gabe from USA, and all the young friends who have assembled here, and all the eminent personalities. And when Dr. Ruma Sinha called me to inaugurate this program, as we are celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we are having various types of programs, and almost I had a very tight schedule. But when she came and asked my presence here, I no other go, I just accepted, because we are all in the same fraternity, so I cannot deny your request. And apart from that, that is the only honor I could do her, so that she is doing such a great job, at least to attend the conference, to inaugurate it. So that is a small compliment which I can give to her. Her exemplary service, as it is mentioned by Dr. K. Hari Prasad and Dr. Mahendra Bhandari ji. It is not easy to initiate one new technology, we know. Actually, when I was hearing the words of Dr. Mahendra Bhandari ji, my thoughts went back 40 years back, when we started practicing ultrasound and fetal therapy. 40-45 years back, interventional ultrasound was not thought of. So when we came forward saying that we will aspirate the ovarian cyst, or some of the procedures can be done by ultrasound, nobody will accept. But we used to go and convince them. And particularly 40 years back, when there were no very defined books on ultrasound, we used to diagnose some cases and run to the theaters to see, even immediately after opening, changing the dress, and to see how it was, so that we can correlate the findings with the next patient. So like that we used to go and study. So I can understand the difficulty how Dr. Ruma could have faced in initiating this very new technology. And another thing, in our country, as it is said by Dr. Bhandari, it is patient-oriented. So whatever may be, the success should be there. Even the highest technology applied, and if there is a small complication, even though we are confident of applying the same technology in the next patient, definitely we won't be able to do that. So it is very difficult to practice, because it is patient-oriented, and the patient nowadays, with the Google and all the other things, we won't be able to convince the patient. So it is the greatest job she has done, and I compliment you because, and another thing, as a gynecologist, not only as a governor, as a gynecologist, I am really complimenting you. And I know personally how it is very difficult. For example, some of the incidences when I say about my initial practices in ultrasound, even the smallest things we won't be able to convince. For example, once one patient came for a prostatic study, then I told, come with full urine, morning, I have to study your prostate. He came and opened an yellow bag, 4 bottles of urine he kept on my table and told, you asked me to come with full urine. One day full urine, so I came with full urine. So this is the type of, so we have to make the patient aware of the situation. Even the smallest thing, we won't be able to make the patient aware of the situation. And as it is said, that is less invasive, cost-effective, cosmetic. So because when Dr. Bandari said it's very difficult to propagate it. Not only he was telling as a urologist, it's very difficult to propagate it. I know as a nephrologist, I'm a half nephrologist. Dr. Apollo, he must be, Hari Prasad must be knowing. Because initial days, I used to go and assist him for catheterization and for AV fistula, everything. I used to go because and after by ultrasound we were able to focus and we were able to, ultrasound guided some procedures we were able to do. So some guided procedures I'm very well aware, but the acceptance, it's very difficult to create the acceptance in the initial stages. And as a gynecologist, as a women are more focused on cosmetologic purpose. So it is this, when we propagate it, whether it is any other purpose, if it is for cosmetic purpose, then definitely they will accept. So one positive point you have, the robotic surgery is for cosmetic purpose, because when we initial days, we all know, when we wanted to propagate breastfeeding, when we say it is nutritious and it is good for the baby, it is good for the mother, no mother accepted it. When we said, so you will become very beautiful after giving breastfeeding. So everyone started. So even when I celebrated the breast milk day last year, you won't believe, all were looking very beautiful. The women were looking very beautiful, and they were telling, because of that, because when we learned that we'll become beautiful and we will lose our fat very easily, so we started giving breastfeeding. So you can propagate that. Whatever may be the situation, your cosmetic purpose will be there, and cost and cosmetology, both are there. And cost effective because the stay will be less, and with all our complications will be there, less hemorrhage and everything. What all, as a practicing gynecologist, they can highlight more on things. And technology, because nowadays the technology plays a very important role, whether it is artificial intelligence or whatever may be the augmented reality or virtual reality, the 3D printing and robotics have changed the face of medical practice. And the goal of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi's digital health mission is to make healthcare delivery available, inexpensive, and accessible for everyone, especially the poor who reside in remote and difficult to reach areas. And not only it's cosmetic, and as I said, the complications are less and innovative. These conferences like this will make us to interact with each other so that the experience we share will help us to face the challenges in the procedures which we follow. So I'm really very happy to attend this program, and my appeal is, because as a gynecologist, as medical professionals, we always encourage research activities and publications. And I always felt that I was practicing sonology for more than 10 to 15 years, and I am one of the pioneers of sonology. And I have done a lot of procedures, but one thing one drawback was I didn't publish it properly. So my appeal is, please publish your, so only then I started writing books. So please publish your findings, please go for more research activities, because I remember that sonosalpingogram, when a patient refused for hysterosalpingogram, Then we thought, so okay, we will inject some fluid through the catheter, and whether we see whether any fluid is in the cul-de-sac, because the patient refused for sonosalpingogram. And then we started like that in a lighter sense. Then after that it was published. But one of the pioneers we did it. So if we publish and we go for research activities, it will be helpful for our friends who want to do more challenging surgeries. And the robotic surgery will soon be a compulsion due to the rapid growth of technology, and aspiring physicians will have to develop their skills in this area. I am sure that with eminent Indian specialists like Dr. Ruma Sinha, as well as other renowned global experts, while discussing the role of robotics in gynecological surgeries, will highlight usage of technology relevant and the ways to make it economically feasible for all sections of the society. And my appeal to all the insurance companies also, because they have to include, now it's very disheartening, even though the medical profession moving much forward, even during the COVID period, we have noticed, because some of the insurance companies are more reserved in taking some of the complicated cases, and they wanted to give insurance only to the straightforward cases. So my appeal is, as an administrator, my appeal, even the insurance companies should come forward to take all these robotic surgeries and to help them, and even the government insurance schemes also. These type of robotic, because whenever high technology surgeries, it is not included in the surgeries of mandatory surgeries. So my appeal is, and whatever may be the support I will render, and my efforts also will be there to include these type of high-tech surgeries in the insurance scheme. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words and encouragement. It is indeed the right of all patients to have the facilities available which anyone else across the world can have, and there should be no reason why we should be denying a patient the benefit of robotic surgery if we can. I would like to request you to please felicitate our honorable members on the stage. Please like to invite Dr. Ma'am, to invite Dr. Bhandari. Plaque which has the Bedki work on it, which is made with silver threads, and the shawl is from Himachal Pradesh. So it's really focusing on all India handloom products that we have across. We have a big variety. Calling upon Dr. K. Hari Prasad. This meeting would not have been possible and would not have had the colors it had, like the interesting discussion we had just before lunch, if it was not for our two international faculties that we have amongst us. I would like to invite Professor Voltaire Galte, please, to come on stage. Dr. Gabby Mowat, please. Thank you so much, sir. This conference, RoboGyn India 2022, started off with the idea to start a society, that is the Association of Gynae Robotic Surgeries, and I would like to felicitate our founder president, Dr. Ruma Sinha, please. Calling on stage our founder, Vice President, Dr. Rama Joshi, please. Please come. Next is the founder secretary, that is me, Dr. Anshamala. Calling upon our founder joint secretary, Dr. Anupama Bahadur, all the way from Rishikesh, AIMS. Our founder treasurer, Dr. Yogesh Kulkarni. Our founder joint treasurer, Dr. Mala Srivastav. Out of all of us 7, there is another doctor who is right now unable to attend, Dr. Anupama Rajan Babu from Cochin, who was one of the core gynae members of the society when we decided to start the society. I would like to now request Dr. Ruma Sinha to please felicitate our chief guest, Dr. Tamilisai Soundarajan. Incredible things can be done simply if we are committed to make them happen. The words are said by Sri Sadhguru, and I truly believe that if we were committed to make this happen, we were committed as a group of 8 gynecologists who were doing robotic surgery, decided that we needed a face and a position or a platform to focus and address what robotic surgery can actually do for our patients, is where the whole idea of the Association of Gynae Robotic Surgeons of India has started. Thank you so much, all of you, for having joined us for this inauguration ceremony and helping us to launch this. And yes, we are definitely, I can speak on behalf of the entire core committee, that we are indeed committed to take this higher, not only academically, keeping it very far away from politics, but also encouraging young students. Like we have awards for all of our young students to put in their posters, papers, and encourage them to think. Maybe, you may have some innovations coming up from all of the younger people who are here with us. I would like to thank our chief guest for honoring us with her presence with us today and making this occasion really special. I'd like to thank Dr. K. Hariprasad for encouraging words and the ability and helping us to start off the program. Dr. Mahendra Bhandari, of course, he's the one who put in the seed of robotic surgery in all of us and encouraged us to go ahead and do this as best as we can. I'd like to thank all of our committee members, our international guests, Dr. Gabby Mowat and Dr. Walter, for coming in and making this program a grand success. I'd like to end this program and thank all of you and would like to play the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण